So you mean to tell me that the same Mendeecees who swore he was done with the messy drama and ready to play Family Man of the Year just pulled the cover off a hotel scandal so wild it makes every Love and Hip Hop reunion look like Sunday school? Picture this. Kirk Frost, the same Kirk who somehow turned marital betrayal into a business plan, and Kendra, the woman who's been trying to rebrand herself as classy ever since. Jock's antics embarrassed her caught up in a hotel room, setup that Mendeecees claims he saw with his own eyes. But here's the kicker. If this is true, then what was happening in that room wasn't just a little champagne and pillow talk moment. It was the kind of secret that could blow up marriages, brands, and maybe even VH1 contracts. You have to ask yourself, why would Mendeecees risk exposing this if he didn't have something concrete? Was it revenge, a warning shot, or simply the fact that these people can't stop turning their lives into tabloid headlines? And the real question, what went down behind those hotel doors that has Mendeecees smirking while the internet is already typing up Kirk and Kendra's obituaries in the court of public opinion? Stay with me, cause this isn't just gossip, this is a ticking time bomb. So let's break this down, because clearly Harlem just got a brand new soap opera, and the actors in this mess aren't even trying to hide the scripts anymore. The center of it all, none other than Mendeecees Harris, the so-called reformed family man, who suddenly decided to go full investigative journalist on Kirk Frost and Kendra. Yes, Kirkmeister, I accidentally had a baby outside my marriage on national TV, and Kendra, the woman who swore she was too good to be caught in the usual love and hip-hop scandal cycle. But here we are. Mendeecees, of all people, claims he's got hotel room receipts, text screenshots, and even voice notes that could make Netflix cancel every crime documentary in their lineup. And the way this story is unfolding, it's giving less innocent hangout and more secret midnight rendezvous with room service receipts, long enough to stretch from Harlem to Atlanta. Now, why is Mendeecees even involved? Well, according to him, he stumbled across this dirt by accident. Sure, because we all know married men with 9 reality TV seasons under their belt just happened to trip and fall into evidence folders labeled Kirk and Kendra Hotel Secrets, the real tea. Mendeecees and Yandi had been at a hotel for an event, and somehow he ends up with access to the booking log. Who else was checked in? Kirk and Kendra, using fake names that might as well have been not suspicious at all. And get this, both rooms were on the same floor, booked back to back, with a suspiciously identical check-in and check-out time. If you're still trying to tell me that's a coincidence, then I have a bridge in Brooklyn I'd love to sell. You, cash only. But it doesn't stop there. According to Mendeecees, he overheard something through the paper-thin hotel walls: whispers, laughter, and let's just say sounds that didn't exactly scream business meeting. And before you even ask, yes, he claims he recorded a snippet on his phone. Now, we don't have the actual audio because, these so-called sources always say, it's coming soon, but the description he gave was enough to send social media into meltdown. Fans started tweeting things like, not Kendra turning into Rashida 2.0. And Kirk can't even cheat in peace without another cast member eavesdropping. Twitter had no chill. Instagram was worse, and TikTok. They already had side-by-side memes of Kendra and Rashida like it was a before and after. Cautionary tale. But here's where it gets juicier. So-called anonymous hotel employee allegedly confirmed that Kirk requested privacy at all costs during his stay. What does that even mean? According to the leak, Kirk didn't want housekeeping, didn't want calls transferred, and wait for it, ordered champagne and chocolate-covered strawberries for 2. Meanwhile, Kendra's room service bill: a bottle of Hennessy chicken, wings, and a cheesecake at 2 a.m. I mean, come on, y'all. If that doesn't scream after-hours shenanigans, I don't know what does. And the kicker: both bills got signed with the exact same handwriting. Amateur hour. And that's exactly where things get darker, because apparently this wasn't just some casual meetup gone wrong. No, honey, Sources are claiming that Kirk and Kendra had a whole system in place, like this was an organized operation, not some random scandal that happened overnight. According to one so-called insider, the two were spotted booking the same penthouse suite at least 4 times in the past 3 months. Coincidence? Please. That's like saying Stevie J forgot where the child support office is, nobody's buying it. Here's where it gets juicier. Eyewitnesses allege that on one of those nights, hotel staff got called up to the room after complaints of excessive noise. Now, I don't know what kind of noise makes you risk your entire marriage and career, but apparently it was loud enough that people on the next floor were filing complaints. And when security showed up, let's just say Kendra was reportedly seen stumbling out of the room while Kirk tried to bribe the hotel staff to keep quiet. Oh yes, baby, we're talking cash, whispers, and a "you didn't see anything" type of exchange. But wait, it gets worse. Someone snapped blurry photos of Kirk leaving the hotel with what looked like Kendra's jacket over his arm. The internet detectives had a field day with that one. You know how Twitter works? They zoomed, they cropped, they circled and read. And suddenly, #JacketGate was trending by the morning. Memes were flying faster than Mendeecees' side eyes, with people posting side-by-side comparisons of Kendra's outfit and the jacket in Kirk's hands. And you already know, the timeline doesn't miss anything. And speaking of Mendeecees, he was not about to let this whole situation slide. While Kirk and Kendra were allegedly playing house in hotel rooms, Mendeecees was reportedly collecting his receipts. Anonymous DMs started leaking with claims that he had recordings actual recordings of phone conversations between the two. One source even suggested that Mendeecees had been tipped off by someone close to production, someone who couldn't stomach the hypocrisy any longer. And honestly, that makes sense, because love and hip-hop producers are shady, but they're not. That loyal. Social media reactions. Wild. Half of the internet was screaming, "We knew Kirk couldn't be trusted," while the other half was dragging Kendra for filth, calling her Mrs. Sidepiece Supreme and accusing her of betraying young Jock, like it was a sport. Instagram comment sections were burning hotter than Jock's infamous hairstyle, with fans debating whether Mendeecees should go public with the recordings or hold them hostage until the reunion show. Because, let's be real, what's a scandal without the reunion blow-up? But here's the kicker. Rumors started swirling that VH1 execs knew about this months ago and were planning to use it as the centerpiece storyline for next season. Imagine that, everyone's marriages and reputations going up in flames, just so producers could score higher ratings. Classic. And if that's true, then the Kirk and Kendra saga isn't just a messy hookup, it's a full-blown setup with VH1 pulling the strings the whole time. And you know what that means, right? The fallout wasn't just going to be about a hotel room. It was about to explode into something way bigger. Contracts, reputations, maybe even lawsuits. Because once you bring production into it, you're no longer just talking about gossip here. Talking about an empire protecting its bag. And just when people thought the storm was coming down, a new twist sent shockwaves across the entire fan base because leaked. Screenshots from a private conversation began circulating online, allegedly between someone close to the couple and an anonymous producer, suggesting that this entire scandal may have been orchestrated to boost ratings and keep their names trending. Think about how insane that sounds. If true, it means not only were hearts broken and reputations dragged, but entire communities were manipulated for the sake of clout and money. And that realization made fans angrier than ever, with thousands of comments flooding social media calling it the dirtiest publicity stunt of the decade. But then the denial came loud, aggressive and defensive from every direction, with cast members insisting nothing was staged, while insiders kept whispering about contracts, production notes, and the shady backdoor deals that have always haunted the reality TV industry. And suddenly the audience was left questioning whether they were victims of a cruel hoax or witnesses. to a very real betrayal spiraling out of control. The silence of certain people spoke louder than words. Because instead of clearing the air, they began posting cryptic quotes, Bible verses, and half-baked statements that only fueled speculation. And every post, every comment, every live stream turned into a battlefield where fans debated what really went down behind those closed doors. The worst part? Even family members started getting dragged into the mess, with relatives unfollowing each other, friends picking sides, and blogs dissecting body language from old interviews like detectives trying to solve a murder case. Where witnessing is not just dramides, a collapse of trust, image, and power happening in real time, with receipts dropping like bombs at random intervals, forcing people to question everything they thought they knew about loyalty, love, and fame. And now the million-dollar question is, where does it go from here? Do they swallow their pride, admit their mistakes, and attempt to rebuild? Or do they continue the cycle of denial, deflection, and staged appearances while their empire crumbles around them? Fans are torn, the streets are buzzing, and the media is circling like vultures waiting for the next misstep. Because one wrong move, one slip-up could end careers, friendships, and families forever. At this point, the only guarantee is that the truth, whatever it may be, cannot stay buried for long because too many eyes are watching. Too many voices are demanding answers, and too many people are invested in watching this chaos play out. To the bitter end, if you thought this story couldn't get any messier, trust me, what's coming next will leave you speechless. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single update, and make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is only just getting started.